Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the last week in April. That means next week is May. In Minnesota, that's very exciting because our lakes have thawed out. Yes, we do swim in lakes here in Minnesota. No, they are not full of leeches. I've been asked that before, so I'm going to set that straight. The sun is out. The trees are starting to leaf out. Very exciting here. So welcome. We are going to start our week off with a bang with Miss Kate. She is all things blogging if you want to go. And she has a lot of positive bright lights to explain today. So welcome, Miss Kate. Glad to have you here.
Thanks, Kelly. It's great to be here.
But first, we're going to start off with some news items, like right hot off the press. We have a news item from Google. Google says they're bleeding cash. What does that really mean for veterinary hospitals? That means that the ads is lower. When Google is losing money, that means less people are doing ads and they're not paying as much for ads because it's based on an auction-based system. So what we're finding here in Beyond Indigo when we're running ads for clients is it's costing less. The cost per click is not as high as it was before COVID. So if you've been hesitating, kind of want to saving some money on some ads, maybe you should get back into it and look at it because it may not cost you as much for your area. So that's pretty cool. So keep an eye on that. Again, Google, not as expensive. So Kate, tell us what you have today. I'm going to disappear a little bit. Kate's going to show us some information and we're going to go from there.
All right, yeah, this has actually been a really exciting time for blogging in the veterinary space. I kind of feel like this is the moment we've been waiting for and working for years with a lot of our clients. As a lot of you might know, traditionally blogging offers a variety of benefits to vet practices and their websites, their social media presence. SEO and social marketing collateral are quite frequently what we think of as the immediate payoff, but really, when you look at blogging, it's a long game, right? It's your ability to establish yourself as an authority in your local area. It's your ability to educate clients, with pet health, practice services, whatever is happening in the season du jour, whether it's dental or parasites. But really blogging, and what gets me excited about blogging is the opportunity for connection. It offers veterinarians an amazing opportunity to connect with their clients outside of the exam room. Whether you have a question at 3 in the morning or 2 in the afternoon, so often now what we do before anything else is turn to the internet to see what we can find out on our own, become Dr. Google, do all of that. And so over the years, as we've been doing this, we've been working on building blog libraries to answer these different questions. And so we have everything there to create the connection. And right now, I feel like that's especially important, not just because so many practices are doing the curbside drop-off. They're not really having those one-on-one interactions in the exam room with pet owners that traditionally happen. So blogging does give you an opportunity there. But it's also really that right now between, everything that's going on, people are at home more, people are at home with their pets, they have newly adopted pets, they're just spending more time with their pets in general and learning that they're kind of quirky and strange, weird little beasts. And they're trying to figure out why, they're trying to figure out what to do. And that's what blogging is really offering right now, kind of across the board. And so how do we know this? Essentially what we're seeing is that blog traffic has increased 156% over this same month last year. Blog posts are accounting for about 30% of all website traffic, which is also up over last year. So just seeing those increases in general, we know that people are taking their time, whether they're on their phone, on their computers, wherever they're at, when something is capturing their attention, they're going to look for it and they're finding answers from their local veterinarian, which is really awesome. About 52% of blog traffic was referred through social channels. That could be whether or not you're just clicking on the website and it's taking you in, a specific post on your Facebook page or through your Instagram feed. But 30%, 7% is coming via organic search, which means that folks are looking for it. They're going out and trying to figure out, why does my dog lick ears? Or what am I supposed, how do I leash train a dog? How do I house break a dog when we're in a paper towel shortage? Like, seriously, I'm dealing with that. So anyway, like, it's really interesting to see too what our readers are really gravitating towards. And Will, if you want to jump over to that next slide, you'll see at Beyond Indigo, we love a good top 10 list. As many of you know, we tend to do those at the end of the year, kind of across the board for our clients. So it seemed fitting to jump in here. Definitely the newly adopted pet care topics are really strong, whether or not it is house training, why is my puppy biting, what am I supposed to do with this fluff ball that streaks across the house and I can't catch it? Anything having to do with new pets is really big right now. Leash training tips and dog walking etiquette. Most of us that have pets are taking every opportunity we can to get out of the house when it's safe to do so with our pets. And realizing, especially when you have a new puppy, that they don't come leash trained, like you actually have to teach that. I'm seeing that one especially across the board. Questions about, why does my pet do weird things? Essentially, whether it's why do dogs lick ears? Why do I have a really super needy, clingy cat? People want to know why their pets are weirdos. Other topics are keeping your pets entertained at home, especially if you have indoor pets, or even if you're just all cooped up a lot more. Life lessons from your pets, things your pets can teach you, human-animal bond-related topics, things your pet wishes you knew. Do DIY pet treat recipes, toy ideas, grooming tips. People are trying to figure out how to fill their time, especially, you can only bake so many cookies for yourself before you have to preserve your sanity and move over to the dog cookies. Again, general pet training and behavior. This is more the how-to than the why. How do I get my dog to catch a biscuit off of its nose? How do I get him to stop biting me incessantly? Another one, and not surprisingly, gardening with pets and outdoor pet safety tips, toxins, just general awareness of the season. Everybody's getting out more. They're really enjoying trying to do all these things with their pets, but realizing it's not always as easy as it seems like it should be. And finally, this is more one that we're preparing for coming up. We're starting to see little bits of it, but preparing for and dealing with separation anxiety in pets. Whether you have a newly adopted pet who hasn't really experienced being home alone for big swaths of the day because you're home with them right now, or even if you are going back to work and there's a little bit of that routine, but maybe you have kids and the pets are going to be a little shocked in 6 months or 3 months when everybody goes back to school. So that's kind of our forecast, is looking at, getting ready to help people make their transitions back into working life and back into school later in the summer or vacations as they come up, and helping pets be able to cope with that, because it's a really serious issue, something that we've seen a lot of usually around back to school time. So it makes sense we'll see it again now. But that's pretty much what we're looking at. It's been a really exciting time in Bloglandia.
That is so awesome. I think it's really helpful to have bright lights out there. It is horrible.
No, it's absolutely essential to keep looking forward. It's so easy to get stuck in quagmires and panic that I think that's one of the great things that pets do, though, is they pull us out of our head and keep us looking forward. And as in that veterinary industry, we can help people support that. It's this lovely cyclical situation. So I don't know, it gets me excited.
Gets me excited too, and you're right. I mean, we have all these new pets because of COVID.
So many.
And what you do with them when life returns to normal? Mine's completely spoiled because I work from home. Not that will ever change because we all work from home here at Beyond Indigo. But if I ever leave now, he's like, what are you doing? You left the dog?
No, absolutely. I went to do my radio show a few weeks ago. I was gone for 3 hours, and my dog thought I'd been gone a month by the time I got home, because he's just not used to it anymore. So I think that's, it's definitely something to be thinking about. But, it's great to see the shelters empty, but we have to be prepared to support these new pet parents so they don't get frustrated and turn their animals back in after the fact, or however that works. We've got to support these new pet parents the best we can, and offering these types of tips and connection points really, I think, can uniquely position veterinarians for the future. These are opportunities that you have to build lifelong connections with new patients and new clients. It's a great time to do it.
I love it. I love it. And then you and I were talking before we went on the air today about marketing to self-tip. Like, you had a really great one. What was yours today?
It's be excellent to each other. This kind of goes back to everything that we're talking about with connection and self-care too, really. Isolation, distance, solitude, uncertainty, all these things really can go hand in hand with not only deep introspection, but also depression. And that becomes a self-perpetuating pattern. So I really think it's important that, every one of us, when we have the opportunity to interact with someone, that we really focus on, being kind, being grateful, to your family, to the postal workers, grocery clerks, your delivery drivers, to yourself. We need to take this opportunity to smile and connect and get through this together. I think that ultimately it's a Bill and Ted moment. It's be excellent to each other.
I think that's wonderful with Bill and Ted, but it's true. We can't say it enough. You can't have enough gratitude. There is no limits on gratitude. There just isn't. There's not a stop on that. So more gratitude, the better. Gratitude for yourself, your family. It matters.
Life has not stopped because this is happening. Everyone still has whatever they were going through before all of this started, whether or not it's, sick family or changing jobs, or life just keeps rolling no matter what. And so anything that we can do to remind people that they are connected and they're not as isolated as maybe they feel, I feel like it's just going to help us, move forward into a better space than we came out of.
I love it. Well, thank you for that tip for the day. And thank you for being here and sharing all this wonderful information.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, thanks. It was great to be here, Kelly.
Thanks. Have a nice day, everybody.